in terms of softwares, so people say, okay, what do you use to run your agency in terms of software?
Should we pick off? I don't know. We could go on forever, the amount of softwares we use, but the biggest, I'll start with.
Go top 5.
Okay, my top 5, I've got Zapier or Zapier, however you want to say it, is 100% up there for me. It's the backbone that keeps all campaigns together. Essentially, what Zapier is it's an automation software. So you can say you choose a trigger point, and then you choose steps after it of what you want to happen after that trigger point is triggered. So you have a funnel, a lead comes in, you say, right Zapier, this is the trigger point when a lead comes in. Now I want you to do the following. So you make a ClickFunnels account, you create a funnel, lead comes in. I now want you to add all of that information to a Google spreadsheet. I also want you to send a confirmation email to this person. I want you to send a confirmation email to the client and the agency, so we know leads are coming through. I then want you to do another follow-up point of sending an SMS text message. Then I want you to add that email that's come through on the funnel to a MailChimp account under a specific audience and tag that email. So it's essentially automation software that you add all of your other softwares to. So you'll connect your MailChimp, you'll connect your Fire Text, which will all go through, which you'll connect your Google Sheets, you'll connect your ClickFunnels, you'll connect everything to Zapier. So then you can manage all of them and trigger them so everything's automated, because you don't want a lead to come in. You have to then a lead to come in. Let me text the person. Let me text my client and say, this is the lead, this is his number, ring him. You want it all automated. So as soon as the lead comes through, zap straight to them. Even if you're out of the shops, they get the email and everything's covered.
Yeah, yeah. So it's basically, those who listening, Harry's explained that really well. It's a middleman doing the legwork for you. So you have software A, it needs to get to person B, okay, or so person C, sorry, and so person B is Zapier, and Zapier takes the information and goes, okay, what are we doing with it? We're going to send it over there. Fine. So it integrates with loads and loads of different softwares, because not every software has all the capabilities, but Zapier will fill in the blanks and just do it for you. But that, for me, I would say Zapier is probably
essential.
I think it's one of the best softwares of the last 10 years.
It's for I don't know what you do without it.
Well,
you couldn't.
And it's so reasonable. It's not cheap, but it's because it depends on how many zaps you're sending and all that sort of stuff. But for the value you get, value for money wise, I don't think there's a software where you get better value for money.
Yeah, and that's a software that you don't need to pay for until you get a client. Pretty much all of these,
it's free.
It's free for like 100 zaps, I think. When we say zaps, that's how many actions. So like a lead comes in, it sends it through a zap. That's just what a zap is. But yeah, you only need to pay that once you get a client. There's no need to have that until a client pays you.
So Zapier is a big one.
Yeah.
I think that the other huge one, which I couldn't live without, is Canva, which I'll explain. So those who don't know what Canva is, go on to Canva, Canva.com. So Canva.com. It is basically a graphic design software. So there's hundreds and thousands of stocked images on the platform. So you don't have to pay for, or worry about copyright. They own all the images. So if you're working with a dentist or anything really, you type it, a spa, let's say, you type it in, and you'll get an abundance of images come up, which are all license free because Canva own them. You can manipulate those images. You can put text over. They've got loads of templates. There's no coincidence that Canva is like $1 billion business now, and their growth in the last 4 years has just been outrageous. But in terms of software, it is fantastic for when you're putting together even presentations for your clients. To do a presentation, it's got presentation templates and they look super professional. And you can click Instagram post and it will give you a good template, the template size, and a Facebook template size. And if you want a YouTube banner done, it's got a YouTube banner template and examples. Super good. It's free at the beginning. If you want to get more access to more pictures, you have to pay the $10 a month fee or whatever it is. It's something like that. But Canva I think it's absolutely an amazing software.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just like in summary, just a free graphic design software, isn't it? So you don't have to pay for Illustrator or whatever, and it's easy to use.
And those who, you know, we talk about being creative in this job. You do have to have some creative, you know, a creative brain to a degree, but Canva, you put yourself into Canva, and the creativeness kind of is taken off you a tiny bit, because it gives you loads of ideas, and then you just manipulate them and put your own spin on it, and brand it the way the client wants it branded and that sort of stuff. So Canva is really good. Other softwares we use, well, we'd say ClickFunnels.
ClickFunnels doesn't need loads of explaining. Just where you create your funnels. A big one for me, which is people will find useful for your contracts. So in the beginning, before you can afford to get, you know, a professional lawyer to produce you a perfect contract for your agency, which isn't needed until you get to a certain point, a website called Rocket Lawyer. Check it out. And what it does is you can go into a service agreement, the tab of service agreement. And what it is professional lawyers, chartered lawyers and accountants upload their documents to Rocket Lawyer for you to use. If you can buy one for unlimited use for like $35, I think, if you want a business service agreement, which just outlines, you know, just a general contract for a business working with a business. You fill in all the details. So you type in, right, this is my business name. This is the client's business name. These are the kind of terms that I want in the agreement, and it produces a document for you, and you can edit it. And that's being produced by a chartered and professional lawyer. So it's super easy. $35, you can get a lawyer produced document. Then you can also electronically send those documents to your clients to get electronically signed, and it keeps it on your file in Rocket Lawyer. Super useful. And yeah. So a lot of people do ask, right, what do we do about contracts? Do we need them? Yeah, get one together. It protects you. It ties them into a particular contract or contract length. Sorry. So yeah, definitely worth using.
Okay. And then I'd say the next one we use a lot of is Firetext.
Yeah.
And something called ClickSend. They're both essentially the same thing, but Firetext, if you're listening, it is an SMS text messaging service. So when a lead comes in, we can text the person to say, thank you for filling out the lead, and this is now what the process is going to be. Sometimes we'll send our leads to clients via a text messaging service. We've got a client that we do, you know, SMS marketing for. So we have 2,000 or something like 2,000, 3,000 phone numbers, and we text them once a week with a special offer or discount code, just letting them know what the situation is. You know, we will be closed for the Queen's funeral, for example. You know, a text message went out to all their clients, all done through Firetext, or ClickSend. They're both a very similar service. I prefer Firetext for the way the software is when you go to put your messages in. I think ClickSend's a bit bumpy, but that's something we pay for and use a lot.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a good top 5, mate.
In fact, actually, just a bit of advice for someone here. If your client wants to start doing SMS, they set up the Firetext account and they give you access to it. So they will upload credit. Okay. So they will probably put maybe £1,000 of credit on the Firetext account. One message is one credit. Okay. So you're not picking up the expense on the text messaging. Now we do for certain clients, Harry, don't we? The ones that pay us big retainers. We just pick it up because it.
Yeah, I think it's.
So that's why we do it.
It's actually a good point, like in terms of who picks up what. And I think a good rule of thumb is if you are using a software that you can use for multiple clients, then you pick it up. But if it's a software that only that client are using and it's racking up a lot of money, then they pick it up. So if you're charging a client £800 a month for a retainer, you don't want to be picking up a Firetext software where they've got 6,000 contacts and it's racking up a bill of 400 because your fee gets cut in half. But if you've got 10 clients and you've created a funnel for each of them, you need to make a ClickFunnels account that you manage all of their funnels on. Like, you don't want them to pay for a ClickFunnels account. It doesn't make sense. Like, you just need to be aware. And those softwares that cost more for the more contacts that you add, you just need to be right. We'll pick it up for the first 100 contacts or whatever, and then you pick it up once it takes off.
I think it's very fair to go back to your client and say, look, we now need we need email marketing and SMS marketing to grow your brand. These are your digital assets, and these are actually something that you need to own personally, because say something happened to you or me and we got, or they they wanted to go their own way. You know, sometimes you part ways with clients, absolutely fine. Do they want to be parting ways when we own everything?
Yeah.
Because they're left with nothing. So if you get a bit of pushback, or you want to know why or how to approach that subject of, say, a MailChimp account or an active campaign account, then just say to them, look, this will be something you own. This is in your name with your email address. You're just giving me access to it. And, you know, you will want that it's in your best interest to make sure you own that.
Yeah.
Your Firetext account, you know, do you want to be messing around at another time, having to find all your numbers again and all the people, and look back through previous text messages that you've sent and when you sent them? They need to own that. That's their right. That's their property. So you just manage it on their behalf. But it's also like, if people are asking about how do you charge ad spend for Facebook ads or Meta ads, sorry, you know, you never pick up the ad spend for your client. Never include it in your retainer either. It's just, you don't do that. The client has a responsibility to pay that platform directly. That is their responsibility. And that is what Meta would want. That's what Google want. That's what TikTok want. The client to pay for it themselves. You just operate and manage that budget on their behalf, and they're paying you a fee to do so.
Yeah.